Right, Dan Hui. For instance, this statement, right? Okay, like that. He plays his own benefits ahead of his clients, right here. Okay. You don't have to put benefits again, right? Right. This is not necessary. Okay, you can end here. He plays his own benefits ahead of his clients, right? His clients. Okay, so you got it wrong. You got 2 marks. Right. This statement here is very bad. Very badly written. Material non-public. What? Something missing here is promoted to maintain and maintain, right? Wow, to maintain and maintain a high level of confidence in market integrity. This is I don't know what to say really. I mean, you look at my notes, to see how this is written. All right. Right. Then this part here. Although Henry no act on the information, actually is his brokers. And then I don't know what you're doing here. Actually, is his broker sell all his Swinburne stock? Actually, his broker sell all his Swinburne stock. I don't know. So I mean, you got some of the points, right? So you got 7 marks. Any question, Tan Hui? Right, you better take note of your poor writing. Wong Gok Jin, are you here?
Yes.
Right, you have 36 and 36, right? Now don't be happy because you only have 36 marks out of 60, right? Even though you got 72, right? Don't be happy because the first question is a gift question, right? This question is a gift question. It's so easy. Okay. Right. So just look at your first sentence. The meaning of misrepresentation under standard 1C is the member and candidates must make any misrepresentation. Right? You're contradicting yourself, right? Must not. You forgot to add the word not. So I should mark you wrong, right? Okay, I should mark you wrong, right? But then because you all got all the facts in, right? I'm trying to be as lenient as possible, right? You got 6 marks, all right? So don't be happy. You got 6 marks. You know, this part here, right? Now, please have the decency to answer the question properly. You know, the channels of communications are, then you answer like that, right? This is, you just copy and paste, you know, from my tutorial notes. You know, have the decency, you know, and the respect, you know, to answer the question properly. I still give you full marks, right? This part 2, I told you not to copy the question, you still copy the question, right? Again, you know, the ways in which investment advisors may blah blah blah, you know, are, you know, like that. Okay. Then D, basically in its totality, you lost 4 marks here, right? Because under material information, you miss out on 2 points, right? You only state 1 point. That's why you got 6 marks here, right? Here, very weird, right? I'm asking for 4, right? Then you quote 1, 2, 3. You know, you don't even label it properly. This is supposed to be the first one, right? This is supposed to be the first one, right? You don't even label your answer properly. Okay. Now this question 2, okay, you have full marks because you got all the points in, right? Even though you have some grammar errors, okay. B, uh, the the writing is quite bad, so that's why you got 10 marks. You got most of your points in. C, this is quite bad, not much substance. That's why you have 8 marks, right? And you use phrases like to disturb the financial market. You're not disturbing the financial market. John was misused, you know, things like that. His action is disturbing the financial market. And then not much substance, you got 8 marks. So D, you got this wrong, right? You got 2 marks. And E, right? This is a very bad sentence. Henry should consciously, this information is non-public information. What are you saying? Right? Not hardly any substance. But you made the right conclusion, right? So this one is just a statement of the you know, of the facts in the case. So there's the, you're hardly answering the question. That's why you got 4 marks, right? So in your final, you still have a chance of failing if you write like that. I'm just being very lenient to you. So don't be happy you got 72. Any question, Wong Kok Jin?
No, thank you, sir.
I can't hear you. Can you type? I can't hear you. Can you type your answer? I can't hear your voice. Right, thank you. Now we will continue with our lectures. So I'll finish at lecture 6, right? I've talked about until lecture 3E. Right, I'll finish until here, 3E. Right, this was the last lecture. I will talk about this today, duties to employer. Right, 3 is duties to clients, and this is duties to employers, right? So again, you have the concept of loyalty, right? And how do you deal with additional compensation arrangements, right? So if you are in an employer situation, right, you could be subject to supervisors, or you yourself is a supervisor. So some people in the firms, they are something like a supervisor, right? So this will cover their responsibilities. Okay, this lecture. Okay, this is what we're going to do. So we are going to, these are the highlights of 4A, employer responsibilities, right? Independent practice, right? You're working for your employer, and then what happens if you have an independent practice, in the process of leaving an employer? And if you see any wrongdoing, right? I mean, the question of your loyalty, who should you be loyal to? Right? And what's the nature of employment, right? Because you're talking about duties to employer. So basically, in employment related matters, right? The first point, you must act for the benefit of your employer, right? The benefit of your employer. And you must not deprive your employer of the advantage of your skills and abilities. That's why, I mean, this constitutes part of loyalty too, right? That's why he employ you, right? You must give your employer all your skills and abilities to help your employer make money. And during the course of your employment, you come across a lot of confidential information, and you must not divulge, right, confidential information unless necessary. And you must not cause harm to employer in any way, right? This harm here is not on, it's not physical harm actually. It's harm to the business, right? Harm to the business. And you must not deprive your employer of profit, right? Sometimes you may take this opportunity yourself, right? In that sense. Right. So loyalty, right? So the question of loyalty here, right? You must always place your client's interest, right, above employer interest, right? So your client's interest comes first. Okay, I already talked about this point in the past. So the implication, right, of this standard. Okay, so basically, loyalty to the employer means that you must comply with the employer's policies and procedures. You know, governing this relationship. The employer-employee relationship. All right. So, to the extent that such policies and procedures do not conflict with the applicable laws, rules, regulations, or the code and standards. Okay, I think you know what this means. This is quite clear, right? Right. So basically, right. So in this employer-employee relationship, right. I mean, both sides, have some duties and responsibilities to each other, right? So the employer also have some duties and responsibilities to the employees, right? You know, not just from the employees to the employer. It's both sides. It's both ways. Okay. Right. So okay. So this point here, however, does not mean must place employers' interest ahead of personal interest in all matters. Basically, it means that we need not subordinate important personal and family obligations to work commitments. Work is work. There must be a balance between work and personal life. All right. Basically, this is what it means. Right. So this part here, right. I mean, we are in investment practice, right? So sometimes we may be independent. Okay. We do. I mean, basically the point here is that we can have independent practice, right? And sometimes it may conflict with employer interest. However, independent practice is permitted, right, with employer consent and notification. You notify employer, right, giving all these details, what services you're going to provide, to your prospective independent client. Maybe this is not the employer's clients, your own clients, right? How long you're going to provide them and how much you're going to be paid for. So basically, these are the details that you should provide your employer to ensure that there's no conflict of interest, that you are not trying to encroach onto your employer's clients. Okay. So in the process, sometimes you may want to leave an employer, right? You may go for a new job, right? So when you leave an employer, when leaving, right? So in the process of leaving, because you have not left yet, right? So you must continue to act in the employer's best interest, and you must not engage in any activities that will conflict with this duty, right? This duty of acting in his best interest, right? Until resignation becomes effective. Okay. So some prohibitions. When you talk about employer loyalty, you're not supposed to misappropriate trade secrets. Okay, giving it out, right? In the course of your work, you will have some trade secret, or you misuse the confidential information, derived during the course of your employment, right? Or you solicit your employer's clients, right, prior to cessation of employment. That means you try to get the clients to leave and then join you, though it belongs to you, right,